This is November 19th, 2017, and I have two dreams from January of 2014 that were interested that I would read, and all I'm going to do is just read the dreams. From January the 8th, 2014, I dreamed that I was watching the weather to the western edge of the TV screen. I was living in Oklahoma at this time. I saw that the weather forecast was snow for Oklahoma. Then a loud voice said, "Chad, the Arkansas only thing, it is confirmed, it is bound in heaven. You will not remember that name." The dream transferred to a beach. I was swimming. There was another woman swimming. We were the only two that were there for miles and miles, and weather was sort of overcast. And I ducked under the water. I saw a shark about 5 feet long. It was a great white, and I came back up and I yelled, "Shark!" And, I said it twice, "Shark, shark," and it began attacking the woman. She was screaming, then it let her go and began attacking me. When it did, I raised my right hand and I said, "For the shark could do anything in Jesus' name, who is Almighty God, everything must obey. I rebuke you, shark, and every demon on the beach." 2 seconds passed. Still in the water, the wind suddenly was gusting over 100 miles an hour. It was like a hand hit the shark. It ran off. I ran up on the beach as we were out in the water at about where the surf was. And the wind was so high I couldn't stand up. It literally was blowing me. It picked me up and blew me airborne down the beach about 20 feet. And then I heard what sounded like a Western movie. Sounded like hundreds of horses and wagons and trampling down, and then I saw over my head a line of thousands of demons, and they were black, small ones, big ones, and black, running over my head into the sea, way out about where the horizon was, and the waters were drowning them and killing them, and the waves and high winds. It took about 30 seconds for thousands of demons to run into the sea till they were all gone, as well as the attacking fish. Then a voice said this real loud. This wind was sustained at 100 miles an hour, gusting higher. Then there was a pause, and the voice said really loud, almost yelling, "We got rid of a legion," or it said, "I got rid of a legion on that one." I woke up, but in the dream, neither me nor the woman had a scratch on us nor any injury. The demons ran into the sea in a straight line about 5 foot wide and fading out toward the horizon. And I can describe the sound, of them running into the sea. It sounded like a modern day freight train going 80 miles an hour down a track or faster. The wind was roaring. January the 8th, 2014. First dream. The next night, or 2 nights later, January 10th, 2014, I dreamed 2 dreams, and here they are. In the first dream, I told everyone I would walk back home, and in the dream that was from Oklahoma to Georgia. It would take me a month or 2, but I would do it. I was so angry in the dream, I was walking fast and getting somewhere. I just remember days passing. I walked into Cartersville, and when I did, I saw 2 apple trees, lush and large red apples on them. I said, if they still don't believe me, they will now. And I said, I only have 2 miles left. I said, I eat these apples, then they will. Then I think I heard loudly in this dream, Chad, a 3-fold cord is hard to break, for it is written, you will not remember the Arkansas name ever again. And I was walking down Old Mill Road on my last mile, and I woke up. The dream happened at 3 a.m. About 3:30 a.m. was when I woke up, and I tossed and turned till about 4, then dozed back off. When I did, I had a second dream. Me and another party from Bartlesville were at a person's house. The other party noticed I was very sad. She kept on saying, "Chad, aren't you going to get any food?" There was a band going to play later, and they had food and hors d'oeuvres and all that fixed. And so she said, "Are you going to get any food?" And I said, "I'm too sad." And I said, "I will never get home again." I was sitting at a small 2-chair round table. It was a high top, and it was white. And there was a band that was going to play later. I was so heartbroken I sat alone while everyone else eats and talks and waits for the band to play. Didn't know what band it was. No one could cheer me up. I sat at the table and cried for 1 hour. This other party said, "I can't cheer Chad up. I have tried everything." And there was a door by the table. There were French doors, 2 of them side by side with the little windows in them. A married couple just walked in. I didn't know who they were, and they both just looked at me and they said, "The Lord will remember you." And the band began to play the first song. When they did, I noticed the one singing with the mic was with the band, The Firm, that was back in the 80s. And the song he sang was All the King's Horses. And I said, "Really, all seeming by chance?" I listened to the entire song. I liked it when he said, "They say our love was never meant to be, but they don't know, how will they ever understand? We don't build no castles in the sand." Then there was a chorus in the second verse. "They say our lives were just a fairy tale. No matter how we try, we must surely fail. This ivory tower was built on rock, not sand." The song went on and played, and when the song finished, I got up from the table and walked out the door. And I said, "I'll be in Georgia in a month or 2. Days passed. I didn't know that this other party was so heartbroken too, that I had just all of a sudden left Oklahoma, and she didn't know what state I was in between Oklahoma and Georgia, because I had just took off without warning, which did come to pass last year. And find where I was at. 2 days passed, and I didn't know this other party was heartbroken, like I said, and I left. And I just remember I saw the big skyscrapers on the northern horizon. In the dream, I said, "That's Atlanta." And then I said, "If I die on this Interstate 75 highway at rush hour, I have nothing to lose." And cars were nearly hitting me. I had one coming straight at me at 80 miles an hour. I did not even try to move. I said, "I'm suicidal anyway, and if it hits me, I don't care anyway." It swerved and missed me. Then this other party was running up the highway behind me and said, "Chad, slow down." And I told the other party, I said, "I told you this was going to happen fast. This is a highway and I'm going fast, and he ain't stopping," referring to me. The other party was out of breath, and I said, "This exit, get off." There was a concrete barrier, and another highway went that way, and the other party barely squoze through the barrier and the oncoming traffic, and it coming straight at me. And the other party was going, we're hit," freaking out. I mean, just freaking out, panicking. And I was like calm. It wasn't bothering me at all. And I said, "Chad, ain't," and I said, "I'm so frustrated with this life. I walk up the center of the highway at rush hour in Atlanta, Georgia. I have nothing to lose." And I told the other party, which was too scared, but I took off. Then about a half mile up, I ran across 3 lanes of traffic, rush hour I-75 downtown Atlanta. everyone swerving to miss me, and I yelled at the other party, "I'm suicidal, I don't care." And then it horrified the other party. Then I disappeared to the north, just all of a sudden supersonic speed. I disappeared to the north, and the other party was heartbroken. I had specifically 42 miles left, and I said, "Ooh, that's Delk Road." And there was a wreck, down in the bottom. And the bridge, I walked across to a chevron. There was a 70-foot section of a 6-inch wide wall, like a balance beam, I had to walk across. And I walked out on that. I had I-75 below me, about 80 feet below in a 70-foot span. I said, if I fall, I won't fail. Either I make it or I have nothing to lose in sudden suicide. I walked a very dangerous 70 feet across, and I went and got a Polar Pop. Those are the soda fountain pops that come in the blue cups that say Polar Pop on them, like a 32 or a 44 ounce is what that is. And then I told everybody, I'm getting back on the highway. The cops in the dream wanted me off the highway. As they were approaching, to get me off, this blinding storm stopped them in their tracks, and 80-mile-an-hour winds and snow and rain and lightning swallowed them up, and the cops disappeared into the storm, and they couldn't do anything to me. Then the other party said, out of breath, "Chad, I can't keep up with you. Slow down." And I said again, "This is a highway. I'm going fast." I said, "I really move fast from Delk to Ackworth." And then I said to the other party, if I die on this I-75, I have nothing to lose. I'm suicidal anyway. I'm going to walk this last 18 miles. And I got off at Emerson Altoona Road, and I walked to the north. It was up 293, and then I saw Cartersville. I made it, and I woke up. 18 is the number of Babylon and bondage. And I'm just saying for the record, that was just a dream, and that was from almost 4 years ago, and thought both of those dreams were very interesting, and that's why I thought that I would record them, because they were so drastic and stuff. And the path back to January 8th, 2014, when I was up on the beach facing east, looking out over the water, I saw a trail like this, probably 50 feet up. It was wide like this, and then it come in like this as they faded out and ran into the sea and was drowned, and all the devils was drowned and killed. And then it said, "Wow, we got rid of a legion on that one." And those are two dreams, January 10th, 2014, January 8th, 2014. Thought they were interesting, and thought I would post them because they were very interesting and very bizarre and very different.